TJ McConnell has been the Pacers' most consistent player throughout the finals, but at 6'1" and not being an elite outside shooter, how exactly is he having such a major impact? Now off the dribble, McConnell obviously isn't a super explosive above the rim athlete, but he does possess really good speed and physicality. Off the bounce, there's no fat in TJ's game. Most of his moves are straight line drives, where he uses that strength and low center of gravity to carve out angles. We'll see him here refuse to screen towards the baseline, but look how he dips that inside shoulder as he gets past Caruso. The Pacers here are going to clear out one side of the floor for him, and TJ is going to hit this quick in and out and float out to his right, setting up this crossover back to his left. And again, once TJ gets outside of the defense's frame, he automatically hits the turbo button and shoots right past them. So because TJ likes to take these tight and quick driving lines, the natural response from the defense is to both slide their feet and play physical. But TJ also has the ball and body control to sharply change direction. Spins against Williams, so the combination of that speed, physicality, and ball handling also makes TJ really tough to deal with in semi-transition, where if he gets a head of steam going towards the basket, he can be really tough to deal with in open space. We'll see him here dust Wiggins with this simple right to left crossover, to then again lower that shoulder and nudge all the way past him to draw the foul. In early offense, the Pacers also like to set these quick brush screens, and if OKC isn't super sharp on their coverages, it only takes a split second for McConnell to slice into the lane. And again, with the ball, TJ is very good at reading the defense and playing off angles. Look how he casually turns his head and lifts up his body, as if he's looking to use the screen towards the sideline, but he then drops his stance and attacks back towards the middle. We'll see him make the exact same move here, where TJ turns his head towards the corner to then again drive it back towards the middle. And then after Wiggins cuts him off, TJ is going to get back to that spin move. What you do is McConnell gets inside of One really underrated part of McConnell's game is going to be his rim finishing. I wouldn't say he possesses magical Kyrie Irving footwork, but he is very good at reading the defense and finding scoring windows. He's going to turn the corner off his screen, and as Isaiah Joe is trying to time this block from behind, McConnell is going to shield the ball with this inside hand finish. In the paint, McConnell is also very good at getting up into his finishes quickly, by either jumping early off his ball side foot, or just gathering and elevating with no wasted movement. After he beats Caruso towards the baseline, notice how quickly he gathers and gets his finish through. And then along with those twitchy finishes in the paint, he also has the touch to sink these soft floaters from over the top. Now probably the best part of TJ's scoring is going to be his mid-range game. First, when getting into these jumpers, TJ both gets a ton of lift off the floor and has a high release point, and that allows him to elevate and get that jumper off over heavy contests. Off the dribble, TJ's also elite at leveraging that driving threat to create space, by dropping down and looking to turn the corner, to then stop and shoot up for balanced jumpers. We'll see him again here hit that change of pace move towards the middle, but as Cason Wallace drops his stance and looks to head off this drive, TJ is going to separate across the paint, to then elevate and turn into his jumper. I like this move, where McConnell first turns his back towards J-Dub, to then muscle his way across the paint. But as he works past Jalen's frame, notice how he's going to drop that inside shoulder selling the drive, to then float out for another fadeaway. And again, TJ's fast and twitchy moves off the dribble naturally pushes the defense back. And when he feels that he has space, it's going to be an automatic jumper. He's going to get the switch off the screen. Then he's going to put together these two quick crossovers to then again pick up and rise up. Now pull up jump shot is good. And then all that shot creation naturally carries over to McConnell scoring out of pick and roll, where he's great at slicing through traffic to then find the open space to elevate. He's going to come off the screen to his right, and instead of going downhill and attacking the big, he's just going to float out into this open space and lift up for a pull-up. We'll see him make a similar move here, where his first drive gets walled off, but he again finds that open space to attack into. So whether he's playing in isolation, pick and roll, or transition, McConnell has a variety of ways to generate points. His lack of pull-up shooting from 3 does put a cap on how reliable he can be on a night-to-night basis, but he's shown that he is enough to be a steady shot creator at the highest level. And just for a bonus, TJ's also been shooting the ball lights out from 3 in the finals. These obviously aren't shots he gets to in high volume, but him being able to space the floor and knock down these open looks is nothing but a positive.
Picks it out, McConnell. McConnell nails the 3.
Now, as a point guard, TJ's also a seamless fit in the Pacers' free-flowing system. He's great at reading the game and knowing when to be aggressive versus making the simple play and keeping the ball in motion. And when putting the ball down, OKC has to respect him as a legit scoring threat. And once he slices into the paint, he pretty commonly draws a crowd, opening up these easy kickout passes. And while I wouldn't say TJ maps the floor quite as well as other elite passers, he still has enough to create advantages for his teammates. And because Indiana has multiple guys who can both shoot and put the ball down, simple plays like this can go a long way. Look how deep he pulls SGA in gap here, leading to an easy swing pass in 3. And when knifing into the lane, TJ's also great at keeping his dribble alive and pulling as many defenders as he can, which then opens up more dimes in the paint. Look how he's going to attack and bump to the right block, to then gather and elevate up, but instead of shooting, he needles his pass to Siakam. I love this read here, where TJ attacks across the baseline, and watch him pick up and use his eyes to sell this pass to the wing, which freezes these 2 defenders and gives Bryant more space for the shot in the corner. So as a backup point guard, McConnell brings everything you could want. He's very good at picking his spots and finding opportunities to score. He can leverage that to playmake for his teammates. Plus, the Pacers can keep the same free-flowing offense with him on the court. Now, when switching over and looking at TJ's defense, this is where everything comes back to him being an absolute workhorse. Again, there's nothing that really stands out about TJ physically, but throughout these high-stake games, he continues to find ways to make plays. Whether he's sniffing out inbound passes or outworking everyone for loose balls, TJ always makes his presence felt on the court.
Stolen by McConnell. Throws it off Wallace.
But on top of that motor, TJ also has a really high basketball IQ. He's always aware off the ball and early on rotations, and he's been able to fool OKC's ball handlers in spots. Watch him here on the weak side stunt down to the roller, to then shift back out and snag the skip pass. I also like this play here, where he's stepping out and pressuring Wiggins, but as he gives it up and tries to beat him going back door, McConnell has the speed and awareness to intercept another pass. And off the ball, TJ also has a good balance of aggression and discipline. He knows when to stay vertical to avoid fouling, or when to completely commit to the ball.
Goes right at him hard. Double team. McConnell comes
We'll see him here slide across and help to close off this SGA drive. And notice how he gets his chest in front of the ball, then gets his hands vertical to avoid fouling. Now, when looking at McConnell's defense on the ball, there's obviously some things that hold him back, but he does hold his own pretty well against all his backcourt matchups. First, McConnell's foot speed and low center of gravity allows him to slide and get underneath bigger ball handlers. Whether it's SGA, J-Dub, or Wiggins, they've all had issues attacking and creating angles when matched up against him. Jalen here is going to go between and explode to his right, but notice how TJ stays on his hip and pushes him out into a tougher finish. Now, throughout the finals, OKC has also tried to target McConnell in pick and roll and get the switch with him on Shea, but the combination of TJ's foot speed, strength, and playing defense without fouling has allowed him to guard the MVP pretty effectively in open space. So being 6'1", not super athletic and not a great outside shooter, TJ McConnell is still finding a way to have an impact on basketball's biggest stage. His motor and will makes him a non-stop problem on defense, and his relentless pressure with the ball marries perfectly with Indiana's offense. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments who the kids should break down next. The kids here.